My name is Mariana, and today I will show you how our identity verification solution works and why it can be useful for your business. We are talking about the IDV API, a tool that helps a company verify people online in a fast, secure, and fully digital way. Before we go into the main topic, I want to quickly show you some of the new services we recently introduced. We are expanding our platform to give you more tools in one place. One important service is IT Invoice. With this API, you can manage the full electronic invoicing process from creation to sending to SDE, to receiving and storing the document. We also offer company monitoring. This means you can track your company over time and receive automatic updates when something changes. For example, official data or company structure. Then we have electronic signature with OTP. The user receive a code on their phone and enter it to confirm the signature. We also introduced advanced phone verification. With one API call, you can check if a phone number is valid, both mobile and landline on a global level. And finally, SMS Worldwide, we improved this service with the new feature like long message control and real-time delivery reports. We are also working on new feature because this market is evolving very fast. One example is a global company search, so the possibility to access company data worldwide. We are also improving our console to make it easier to use for teams with feature like multi-user access. In the fintech area, we are working on AISP and PISP services, and also on artificial intelligence to give access to multiple LLMs through a single API. Now let's move to today's topic. First, we will see why digital identity is so important. Then we will go through the different level of video identification. After that, we will talk about compliance and certification. And finally, we will look at benefit and real use cases. So what is the IDV API? In simple word, it is a system that allows you to verify both identity and age on a global level. This means no physical presence is needed. The user can complete everything from their smartphone and computer in just a few minutes. The system combines AI, so artificial intelligence, with human check from our anti-fraud team. To make sure the process is secure, reliable, and compliant with the regulation. It works in more than 119 countries with over 3,000 supported documents. And it is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the process can be completed at any time. Now let's see how it works. We offer 4 types of IDV identification, so 4 different levels of video identification. Each level adds more security check. This means you can choose the solution that best fits your needs. The 4 types are Flash Start, Flash Advance, Expert, and Certified. In the next slide, we will look at each one step by step. Let's start with Flash Start, which is the fastest option. First, the system generates a QR code that the user can scan to continue on their mobile device. Before starting, there is a quick check to make sure the device is compatible. Then the user accepts the privacy policy and select the country and the type of document. After that, the user records the document front and back, following simple instruction on the screen. At this point, the system uses AI to extract the data and check if the document is valid. Finally, the system processes everything and provides the results in just a few minutes. If needed, a human review can be done in a very short time. Flash Advance followed the same initial step as Flash Start. So the user scanned the QR code, accepted the privacy policy, selected the document and records it from and back. After that, there is one important difference. The user also records a short video of their face following simple instruction. This step allowed the system to perform biometric verification and check that the person is real. This is called liveness detection, and it helps prevent fraud and fake identities. The expert level starts in the same way as Flash Advance, so it includes document verification and biometric video checks. The main difference comes at the end of the process. In this case, our anti-fraud team review the verification manually. These human checks add an extra level of security and helps detect more complex fraud cases. The certified level also follow the same step as the previous one, so it is include document verification, biometric check, and the human review. The difference is that here the process is fully certified. Our team performs a deeper and more detailed review. Following AML regulation, so anti-money laundering rules, and at the end, a certified report is generated, which can be used for legal compliance and KYC process. This is the highest level of security we offer. This level following strict standard, including ANSSI certification, which is a French authority for information security. So it guarantees a very high level of trust. It is ideal when regulations are strict and the risks is high. Now let's look at where this can be used. Identity verification is needed in many industries. For example, banking and fintech for opening account, insurance for managing customer, car rental and mobility services, e-commerce to prevent fraud, gaming for age verification, healthcare for patient identification, and telecom for SIM activation. So what are the main benefits? First of all, higher security, because video is harder to fake than photos. Then better fraud prevention thanks to AI and advanced controls. So also reduce identity theft thanks to biometric check. Another key point is speed. Users can complete the process in just a few minutes, which improves the onboarding experience. And finally, the process is simple and guided, so it is easier for a user to follow. To conclude, let's quickly summarize why you should choose Openapi for your digital identity verification process. Because we offer a flexible and scalable solution that can adapt to different business needs. We operate globally and support multi-languages. We have a dedicated anti-fraud team, and we ensure compliance with major regulations like GDPR and PSD2. Our pricing is also flexible with pay-per-use option and subscription plan. Another important point is integration. With one single API, you can access multiple services, for example, KYC check, SMS for authentication, business verification, contact validation, and electronic signature. So you can build a complete digital onboarding process using one integration only. If you want to meet us, we will be present at several events, for example, in Tokyo, Verona, Bologna, Berlin, Milan, and Lisbon. So feel free to come and meet us. And now I will give the floor to Mario, our developer, who will show you how the API works in practice directly from our console. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Thank you, Mariana. Now we are going to look at some practical screens showing how this IDV verification service works. You will need two devices, a smartphone, which is used for verification itself, and a PC to initiate the process. When we receive the response from the endpoint, we are provided with a verification URL. This leads to this page that can generate a QR code to be scanned with your phone. From this point on, the procedures moves entirely to the smartphone. If the verification is initiated directly from a mobile phone, however, you are redirected without needing to scan the QR code. The internet connection also must remain stable throughout the entire process. If the mobile phone disconnects, you can go back to the PC page to restart the verification, like here, with another QR code. But if the PC disconnects, you must start a new one, and the previous request will be closed with the details set to applicant drop. The first screen we see is this one. It's the verification start screen where we can change the language. Please note that for this verification, I'm showing the certified process because we have 4 processes in total, which are the flash start, flash advanced, expert process, and certified. This is the highest security process we have. Moving forward with the verification, we have the option to select one of these 4 documents. I selected the identity card. You must choose strictly the original document as the algorithm detects whether it's a photocopy or a picture. We will then be guided through a series of tasks, starting with the verification of the front of the document. You have to scan and put the document in the frame using the camera. Next, we'll be asked to tilt the document on the front so the system can detect holograms and security features. Therefore, only original documents must be used. The detection algorithm is highly secure, even for fully AI-driven processes, like flash start and advanced. Moving on only for the certified process, we will be asked to move the document to align the photo with the small rectangle on the screen. Here, while keeping the font steady, I need to physically move the document to match the two. Then we have to capture the back of the document, just as we saw for the front. The procedure is the same, first the back and then tilted. As for the face capture, which is included in Flash Advanced, Expert, and Certified, so all of them except for the Flash Start, we will frame the face from the front and then in profile. Only the certified process will then ask you to keep the font still and guide a point on the screen using head movements like this, for example, framing the face from different angles. This, unlike the other processes that only feature frontal and lateral face identification, increases the superior security level provided by the certified process, which is specifically ANSSI certified. This then concludes the procedure, and we will be redirected to the URL we specified during the API call. Now I will share the Openapi console, which you can find on our website. We log in, we go to Playground, we select Trust. And then from here, you can find this and other digital trust services. Here you can find a brief introduction, and here you can find the documentation for every service. from the quick start, which allows you to get a general idea of how the system works. Here you can find all the endpoints, and here you can find the documentation in Swagger format. For identity verification, you have multiple endpoints you can use here. Inside the section for the playground, you can also test these and other APIs. You select the identity verification here. You select the environment, sandbox or production. Select the request type you want to do. And here you complete with your name and surname as on the document. You here put your email, and here put the redirect you want to be redirected to after the process finishes. From here, when you finish the new request, for example, I'm gonna start a new one. And from here, you can go to Open Link to go to the QR code generation page. And here you find the general info of the verification, which will be then completed as you go in the process. So you have the state new, which then has to be done, and status, which is pending redirection, which then will be approved or declined. After finishing your verification, you can retrieve it using the other endpoints here. Retrieve, and retrieve. Choosing the one you chose. If I start flash start, I have to do retrieve flash start from here. And you use the ID of the request, which is this one. You can find this one. If you use the endpoint retrieve without the ID, you can find all the requests started from your account. If you forgot the ID or you don't have it, you can find every request started from your account. That also allows you, when you retrieve, to generate the PDF format of the report, which contains the front, back image for the document, the face if available, and the document data in text format. With that said, we can conclude this part dedicated to the practical demonstration. Goodbye, and thank you for your attention.